actually the reason why I ended up with Tilly, my street triple. In addition to all of that, your overall well-being, in my opinion, will be highly improved. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Dragoness Moto. And today I'm going to be taking you on a target run. It is a beautiful sunny day here in Tallahassee, Florida, and I'm taking the long way to Target just for the scenery. You know, I love these canopy roads. So really what I want to cover in this video, let me just get across these train tracks. I just want to share with you guys how I got into riding and why I still ride and love riding, and then also talk a little bit about why I think you should ride. So for me, I've always been around motorcycles. Both of my parents rode when they were younger, and my dad still rides now, today. So I've been riding on the back of the motorcycle with my dad since I can remember, since I was tall enough to touch the pegs on the back and old enough to learn that I have to hold on really tight if I don't want to fall off the back. So my dad is a huge motorcycle fanatic. He's had many different types of bikes, different brands. We've had Yamaha, Kawasaki, lots of Ducatis, lots of Triumphs, MV Augusta, Aprilia, Harley Davidsons. Well, the list goes on. I know I'm missing a few. BMWs, yeah. It's had a lot of naked bikes and dual sport, off-road bikes. Again, the list goes on. I love so many of these bikes, especially the Triumph Speed Triple that he had. That's actually the reason why I ended up with Tilly, my street triple, the younger sister version of the Speed Triple. That was by far my favorite bike. We had so much fun on that thing. Obviously I was riding on the back because I was young and didn't have my motorcycle license, or my driving license for that matter. But I always remember that bike very fondly. Still talk about motorcycles all the time. Yeah, I love that. I love the motorcycles as part of our relationship. Being able to talk about the things you love with the people you love is amazing. So when I was young, about 13, 14, my dad actually bought me a off-road bike, a dirt bike, and we would go all over Wales on those bikes. They had a lot of good off-road tracks back then, so we would just go like into the Brecon Beacons, into various forests. Woo! So many bumps in this road that you just don't see coming. So yeah, I had the dirt bikes for a while, but then somebody stole the bikes right from the house. It was a very sad day. I still remember, actually. But after that, we never got more off-road bikes, and I never started riding street bikes until I actually was in my 20s, living here in Florida. So I moved from the UK, came here, lived here for about 4 years, and that's when I got into street riding. So like I said, I always have loved bikes. I used to read about motorcycle related news even when I didn't have a motorcycle or have my license to ride one. I just loved everything about them. Well, for me anyway, I didn't have a lot of money to spend on a car payment and a bike payment, so I didn't actually get one until I was a little more financially stable and could afford one. So like I said, in my mid-20s is when I first started really getting back into riding. So one summer I'd gone back to the UK and had a long conversation with my dad about riding, and really discussing seriously with him that I wanted to ride and how to go about that. But my dad lives in the UK. They have a much different process for getting your motorcycle license there than they do here. So basically the conversation with him was, I want to ride, I've been wanting to ride for so long, now's my chance, what do you think? And of course he was like, yes, go for it. Spoke to my mum about it, she said go for it. Again, they both rode when they were young, so I don't have those parents who were like, oh my gosh, I don't want to see you on a bike, you're gonna kill yourself immediately. Of course they're worried about me. Every loved one is gonna be worried about you riding a motorcycle. It can be dangerous, so it's understandable, but They were very supportive. They knew I was a responsible human and trusted that I would be safe riding a bike. So when I came back to the US, I went down to my local dealership, looked around at motorcycles, and then I saw Tilly in the showroom. And at first I was like, oh, I don't know what I want. I looked around at SV650, a Yamaha FZ07s, a bunch of different middleweight naked bikes. I knew I wanted a naked bike just because I loved my dad's Speed Triple. That was my favorite bike. I love the look of naked bikes, and I wasn't going to get a Speed Triple as my first bike because that's a liter bike and it's very powerful. So I saw this bike, spoke to my dad about it, spoke to a few people at the shop about it, did a lot of research on it. Like I said, YouTube was my go-to. So I would look to YouTube for a lot of the videos on street triples, on being a beginner, street motorcycle rider, all that kind of stuff. So after I had done thorough research, got my Triumph Street Triple, and yeah, been riding ever since, and that was 3 years ago now. And I ride consistently. I don't commute and I don't ride every single day, but I do ride every weekend. I always dedicate Sunday mornings like today to riding. I usually do a longer ride and I meet up with some people, but today is a bit hot for everybody, so there's no group ride, but I'm still out going to Target, errands to run. Errands are so much more fun when you're riding a bike. I continue to ride, and I love riding for so many different reasons. It gives me this sense of freedom. I feel so mentally relaxed after a ride. There are actually studies that show that people who ride motorcycles do have lower levels of stress, and there are several psychologists out there who talk about, you know, the psychology behind motorcycle riding and why people feel such a sense of enjoyment and freedom and relaxation and stress relief from riding. It's a real thing, people. That's the main thing that I get out of riding and why it still is such a big part of my life. We're here, Target. Another thing that I love about riding is that you have the freedom to park in a lot of different spots. I'm about to park here. Okay, I'm about to run in here and get what I need to get, and then get back on the road. Convenience of parking. And since I'm over this way, I'm actually going to go and grab a coffee from one of my favorite places. But anyway, continuing on from what I was saying about why I love riding, also because I love meeting new people, and riding a motorcycle, you meet a lot of other riders, and the motorcycle community is so great. You just get to go out, meet new people. I love doing that. I like group riding personally. I know some people prefer riding by themselves. I also really enjoy that. So yeah, meeting new people is a great benefit of motorcycle riding. Also, just going on adventures. When you're on your bike, you explore so many areas that you probably wouldn't have explored in a car. I've gone to see some very remote, random places that I otherwise wouldn't have seen. Okay, this is a roundabout. Go around. What is she doing? Did you see? Okay. She stopped on a roundabout to let me on. The only place that I know you can do that is Greece. Maybe some other places. Let me know in the comments if there's actually somewhere else you can do that, or where that's how you use a roundabout, because that definitely isn't the rules here. coffee was good. I needed some of that caffeine. Alright, let's hope that nobody stops in the middle of the roundabout this time. So have you ever felt bored, unfulfilled, or generally poor because gas money is so expensive? If any of these apply to you, then maybe you should start riding a motorcycle. As long as you're safe, a mature person, and you're not crazy and gonna get on a bike and kill yourself, please don't do that. So from my perspective, these are some of the top reasons why I think you should start to consider riding a motorcycle. First is, you won't be bored anymore. Your motorcycle will always provide. You can clean it, you can maintain it, do mechanical work on it, ride it. There's just so many things you can do. Go out, buy parts for it. Another reason why you might consider riding a bike is because it is very convenient. Meaning you can get places quicker if you're at a state where you can lane split or filter through traffic, especially. Also, as you saw from my parking in Target, it is a lot easier to find a parking space with a motorcycle. So much smaller. There are some areas that you can't park, but for the most part you can fit into small spaces. If you're thinking of commuting on a motorcycle, you will save so much money on gas. Your motorcycle will do more miles, and it is cheaper to fill up. I mean, because the tank is a lot smaller than a car tank. Generally you get more bang for your buck with the mileage on a motorcycle. So if you want to save money, maybe consider getting a bike. Another reason, if you like having fun, get a bike. These things provide so much joy in my life and so many of my friends' lives who ride. I just get a rush every time I'm on my bike, but also feel relaxed. I know it doesn't sound like it makes much sense. If you like going out and meeting new people who have the same hobbies and interests as you, get a motorcycle. I've met really good people, really good friends because I ride. Is that a tractor sign? I guess there's a lot of tractors around here, so... Oh, there's one right there. So watch out for tractors on this road. In addition to all of that, your overall well-being, in my opinion, will be highly improved. And not just physical well-being, but primarily is your mental, psychological well-being. It really does help getting out if you feel stressed or overwhelmed. Obviously, being in the right mindset to ride, you can't be all over the place and then get on a bike. That can be dangerous. If you don't have anything that really helps you kind of release from everyday stresses, getting a bike really does help with that. Those are some of the main reasons why I think you should ride. There are also some people who I don't think should ever get on a motorcycle. I might do a video on that, about the types of people or the mindset that some people have, which is bad to have if you want to ride a motorcycle. Obviously, there are way more reasons why you should ride, why I ride. Let me know in the comments what some of the main reasons are why you ride. What has kept you interested in riding motorcycles? I really love hearing about why people love to ride and their experiences on motorcycle. Well, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, learned a little bit about me, why I ride, but also why, if you're not riding right now, why you should ride. So I'm heading home right now because I live in Florida and it's the summer, which means that in about an hour or two it's likely going to pour with rain. I appreciate you all for sticking with me through this video. I hope you liked it and I hope you watched some of my other videos. Alright you guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!